स्वाहा माता, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम सच्ची माता। ओम जय स्वाहा माता।
हरि ओम तत्सत्। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत अर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो, त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि, त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि, ऋतं वदिष्यामि, सत्यं वदिष्यामि। तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु, अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। Devotees, we begin with our chaupais, followed by Bhara Akshar mantra as the Srutas perform the puja. नगर कीजे सब काज, हृदय राखी कौशलपुर राजा। रथ चरिसिया सहित दू भाई, नहीं अवध ही शीर नाई। जाके सुमिरन तेरी तू नाशा, नामश तू हन वेद प्रकाश। विश्व भरण पोषण कर जोई, कर नाम भरत होई। जब तेरा राम रामा, जब तेरा राम ब्याही घर आई। नित नव मंगल मूद बधाई। सखा धर्म में असरत जाकी, जीतन कहन कतहुरी को की। जय राम श्री रामा, जय राम श्री रामा, जय जय राम। जय जय राम राम जय जय सीता राम जय जय राम। वह शुभायु समाजसु कहतन बन खगेश वर्ण शारद शेष सुती सूरस जान महेश सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। बंदो पवन कुमार खलबन पावक ज्ञान घना जासु हृदय आगर बस ही राम शरचापधर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो वासुदेव भगवान की जय। हे रंभ हरे जय, हे रंभ हरे, हे रंभ हरे जय, हे रंभ हरे, हे रंभ हरे जय, हे रंभा हरे, हे रंभ हरे जय, हे रंभा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय, जय दुर्गा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय, जय दुर्गा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय, जय दुर्गा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय, जय देवी हरे, जय शिव हरे जय, जय शिव हरे, जय शिव हरे जय, जय शिव हरे, जय शिव हरे जय, जय शिव हरे, जय शिव हरे शिव शंकर हरे, जय विष्णु हरे जय, जय विष्णु 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 हरे, आदित्य हरे जय, आदित्य 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 हरे, जय राम हरे जय, जय कृष्ण 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 हरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन भवरी, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन भवरी, जपा कर यही नाम मन भावरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे, जय राम हरे जय, जय कृष्ण हरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे, जय राम हरे जय, जय कृष्ण हरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे। बोलिए श्री पंचदेवता की जय। Now devotees, we are aware, or we should be, that there is a great happening about to take place in India, Bharadesh, where conflicts existed many years ago, where there was a temple of Sri Ram which was broken down. A mosque was built, the mosque was broken down. A lot of conflict. But it would seem as though that situations have settled, problems have been resolved, and next week, Monday the 22nd, the temple will be reopened, and the Murti of Bhagwan Sri Ram, the child Sri Ram, not a baby, the child, would be consecrated. Of course, with other murtis. So, for Hindus worldwide, this is a very exciting occasion. And perhaps you might have read somewhere, some people are saying that we should celebrate Diwali in January because Sri Ram is returning to Ayodhya. I won't touch on all that. Maybe next week we'll look a bit at that. But this morning, I want to focus on Bhagwan Sri Ram. A little discourse on Bhagwan Sri Ram, the child. Now, I have mentioned time and again that Ayodhya Puri symbolizes the human body. So even though there is Ayodhya in India, not all of us could be there, can we? Every one of us is representing Ayodhya. And whatever conflicts took place in Ayodhya, such conflicts are quite common in the human body, time and again. So in other words, I'm trying to draw whatever is happening to a very personal, metaphysical sense. I firmly believe great minds reflect upon principles, mediocre minds on events, and undeveloped minds on people. So I am saying that wherever we may be, this situation is an event, but we should look at the underlying principle. And that underlying principle is that if Sri Ram is returning to Ayodhya, the question was, did Sri Ram ever leave? Now Sri Ram would never leave. Sri Ram, Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. He pervades every single atom of creation. Historically, he left Ayodhya, went into the forest for 14 years. But I ask you a question. If you are separated from someone near and dear to you, as in the case of Ayodhya Puri, wouldn't that person be in your mind day and night? Even more than if the person is physically present, analyze it and see. This is why separation is very important in life also. Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he left Gokula Puri, never ever to return. Physically he left. But could he ever have left the heart of the gopis? In other words, when that divine is inside and his presence is felt, he never leaves. What is the problem then? We are the ones who become divorced from him. Our minds stray. So, without elaborating too much, I'm putting to all of us this incident that is taking place on an auspicious day, wonderful, but it should remind all of us what we should do. Bringing Sri Ram back to Ayodhya, meaning what? Bringing spirituality back into your lives. Ram hai Atma. Ram is indweller. But what happens is I keep saying there's a bushel of negativities that block out that light. And what is happening here, don't focus only on the external happenings. Internalize and see what does it mean to you and what you are doing about it. Are you removing the internal negativities as happened in the past, physically? And here brings Sri Ram, a newfound love, a newfound spirituality, newly found, that will develop in your hearts. This is what I want people to focus upon. Not jump up all excited and want to celebrate Diwali in January and whatever else. No, okay, go ahead. But if you don't internalize what is happening, what is the purpose of the whole objective? You see, we all caught up with just the outside happenings, which really supposed to represent internal happenings. So ask yourselves, right, if you can't understand what I'm saying to you, We can appreciate whatever is happening. We can look at it, whatever. We wouldn't be there physically. But you have to ask yourselves, has Sri Ram returned to this Ayodhya? Is he here? Then what's the purpose of that? So, with that in mind, I am presenting a little bit of discourse to help us to awaken this Ayodhya and to consecrate or reconsecrate that Ram Lala, that child Sri Ram, newly found spirituality in our lives. If you don't do this, everything becomes a waste. Understand what I'm telling you? All right? I know we are all caught up in the happenings only. Go beyond that. Okay? So devotee Sri Ram manifested himself in Ayodhya Puri as the son of Kaushalyama. As we have said time and again, Ayodhya Puri represents the human body, Dashrath, the 10 senses, Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra, they represent the 3 gunas. And when the yajna was performed, for those of us who could remember the katha, whatever appeared out of the Agni Kund was divided into different parts, half of which was given to Kaushalya, a quarter to Kaikeyi, and 2 pieces, 1 each to Sumitra. And so the 4 queens, as the story goes, Sri Ram was born of Kaushalya, Bharat was born of Kaikeyi, Lakshman and Shatrughan of Sumitra. And I did mention many times in the past, but I like to remind you because these points are very easily lost to the human mind, who are caught up more in the external rather than the internal. Kaushalya got half. First to begin, Kaushalya Sattvic Prakriti. For spirituality to exist, there must be Sattva. Sattva, state of piety, goodness, principle. Kaushalya got a half, 1 half. There's a reason for that half. The numerator 1 symbolizes that infinite, 1 without the second. That infinite manifests. The same denominator is 2. When he manifested, there are 2 attitudes that he manifested with. One is called Tatas Lakshan, and the second is Swarup Lakshan. So Tatas Lakshan means, as a man, you behave like a man, with human conditioning and so on and so forth, human attitudes. But at the same time, Sri Ram would not lose his swabhav, his spirituality. So time and again, even though he behaved like a man, yet his divinity. For each of us is manifestation, Ans Avatar, Ishwar Ans Jiva Vinashi, even though many of us don't even believe that. Each of us is divinity. But what is the difference between we as divinity and Sri Ram, who is divine himself with these 2 lakshan? We devotees also have these 2 lakshan. Tatas lakshan, Swarup lakshan. Tatas is the physical body. And Swarup lakshan, Atma. Atma hai Ram, Ram hai Atma. So what is the difference between Sri Ram and us? Between that manifestation and all of us as manifestation? The big difference is that Sri Ram at will can carry out Tatas lakshan, and at will he practices Swarup lakshan. Whereas in all of us are subjected to Tatas lakshan. We are controlled by the senses, external stimuli, etc. And very, very rarely do we go to that Swarup lakshan. The objective is to attain to that state of Swarup lakshan, where I realize my divinity. God realization is equivalent to self-realization, recognizing the divinity in you. This is the big difference between that divine who manifests and all of us who also manifest. But the thing is that we are bound by Tatas Lakshan, materialism, caught up with the physical world. Whereas Sri Ram, Krishna Bhagwan, these forms of divinity, they chose to maintain certain principles, tatas lakshan, but at will, they can go straight back to Swarup lakshan. Not like us. Hope you can understand what I am saying. This is a big difference. And if you analyze what I am saying, the journey then is to avoid or to go beyond tatas lakshan to come to Swarup lakshan, self-realization. That is the journey. So I keep saying life is not a joke. Life is not only to sing, clap, dance, make merry, enjoy. Understanding is important. Gyaan bhakti. If you don't know where you are going, you will never know when you reach. You have to identify your destination and then the methodology to reach to our destination. So devotees, all the practices given to us are aimed at taking us in that direction, to help us to attain to what we call that Swarup Lakshan, that state of oneness with divinity. I am divine. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. So we have plenty of work to do, all of us. It is not good enough just to, be doing the basic, simple things. That's good. But better understand where you're going. Understand where you're going. Now, I'm sorry if I'm making this thing more difficult. I could keep it simple, And say, let's celebrate, let's enjoy. They put him back Sri Ram in Ayodhya. I can't do that. Because in my mind, Sri Ram never left. We have left Sri Ram. We have strayed away from spirituality. We need to get back to it. So you know what? Let's reconsecrate that Sri Ram Lala within ourselves. That happening outside there is great. But if you notice, all now in Ayodhya Puri, there are preparations being made. And this is why I'm doing all these things, to prepare ourselves. So if next week, rather than celebrate the event, we celebrate the achievement of that re-establishment of spirituality in ourselves. You will decide what you have achieved or not. I am doing what I have to do, and I understand what I am saying, devotees. I don't know whether you understand me fully, but if you're superficial, you won't understand me. Don't worry, when the time comes, you'll understand for those who can't understand. Make the effort. So devotees, Sri Ram, Tatas Lakshan, Swarup Lakshan, a reflection of ourselves. So we come to Ayodhya Puri. Everybody was quite overjoyed, ecstatic. And devotees, Mata Kaushalya, overjoyed to have her son, Sri Ram. To have a son like Sri Ram, imagine what it is. Yagyavalak Muni released Katha to Bharadwaj. A little incident that took place one day.
मगन कौशल्या निश दिन जतन जान सूत स्नेह बस मातु सब बाल चरित कर गन सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय
याज्ञवल्क्य की मुनि बोले हे भरद्वाज जी, काकभूषण बोले हे गरुड़ जी, भगवान शंकर बोले हे पार्वती, कौशल्या ऐसी प्रेम में मग्न है कि रात दिन जाति नहीं जानती और सब माता पुत्रों के स्नेह वश हो बाल चरित्रों के गीत बनाकर गाती है. Yajnavalkya Muni ji saying Kaushalya Mata in a state of ecstasy. So we back to this story. Kaushalya Mata in a state of ecstasy unbounded, born out of love. Prema me magna. So devotees, when we are happy, the mind is in a state of joy, time flies. When we are distressed, time drags from our perspective. But as we say, time neither flies nor drags, it is our state of mind. So it goes without saying, if the mind is occupied in something that is worthwhile and fulfilling, time flies past. If the mind is occupied in negativities, time drags. And what is the best, or where is the best place to put the mind? Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, keeping the mind on me, fixing the mind on me, is calmness of mind. The Lord is the essence of all positivities, all things of beauty, everything else. If you put your mind on something of beauty, the mind will experience that beauty. And therefore, devotees, the lesson for all of us again, we are caught up in all sorts of trivialities that distract us, cause us pain, cause us anger, irritation. And I want to tell you something. When we are caught up with all these irritations, things of anger and so on, you know what happens to us? When we are overpowered by these things, we contract diseases, we contract illnesses, we contract problems, either physical, mental, emotional. In some way, we harm ourselves. But yet many persist in this very same direction. You persist in being caught up with the goings on of the external world that will affect the stability of the mind. But then it depends on each individual. It depends on you, where you want to be. So all the problems we may have, whatever emotional upsets, the emotional roller coaster and so on that we have, we create it because we have no control over our minds. We create it. So devotees, here is quite easy to understand, I would like to believe. If the mind is put on wholesome things, but then Kaushalya Ma represents Sattvic Prakriti. So a person in this state, where would your mind be? Not on Rajas and Tamas, on divinity, on positivity. And devotees, I wouldn't, in the absence of any survey, quote a percentage, but to my mind, the greatest percentage of our people are in the other side, because your mind elsewhere. Very few put the mind on divinity and keep it there. Herein lies our problems. Now, one may ask a question, how can I put my mind in God when I have all my duties to fulfill? And the answer is simple. Whatever you have to do it as an act of offering to the Lord. But I can't do that, you know why? Because I'm very egoistic. I'm very self-centered. So I can't do this as an act of offering to God. But yet I want to be happy. This alone is a whole discourse, devotees. Attitudes. You are intelligent people, let's go on. Kaushalya Mata, devotees, that state of ecstasy that she experienced, her mind was in sattva. And her mind totally fixed on that Lord, Supreme Purush, manifest. So the day and night flew past. She couldn't tell the difference. Time, division of time. And we all know we are caught up in time, space, and causation, all of us. Space, time, causation. All of us caught up. You see how it is you can transcend time? And it goes without saying that if you surrender to that divine, causation has no effect either. We are caught up. Solution to life's problems, devotees. Solution to life's problems. So, the attitude of Kaushalya is very necessary to pay attention to, and the other mothers. And devotees, if we can emulate some of this example of Mata Kaushalya, it will do us a world of good. A world of good. Mata Kaushalya, the others, overjoyed, taking care of their children, their sons, and time and again, making up songs on their own, glorifying, chanting, just to keep their mind fully occupied. We will just glorify Sri Ram. I'm not saying this was what Mata Kaushalya sang. Whatever she sang, I don't know. But I'm sure it was the name of her son, Sri Ram.
He Ram, He Gunadham, Raghav Sundar Ram, Janki Jeevan Ram, He Ram, He Gunadham. सुंदर राम। जानकी जीवन राम, हे राम हे गुणधाम। कौशयतनया रघुकुल राम। कौशयतनया रघुकुल राम। अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम। अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम। जय जय राम, जय श्री राम। जय जय राम, जय श्री राम। हे राम हे गुणधाम। हे राघव सुंदर राम। जानकी जीवन राम, हे राम हे गुणधाम। हे राम हे गुणधाम। हे राम हे गुणधाम। Devotees, ecstasy, joy. So time was spent by Mata Kaushilya and the others, but focus on Mata Kaushilya. Mata Kaushilya taking care of her child. बार जननी अनहवाये रामा। एक बार जननी अनहवाये। तरी श्रृंगार पलना पहाये। निज कुल इष्ट देव भगवान। निज कुल इष्ट देव भगवान। पूजा हेतु कीन्ह पकवान। कीन्ह पकवान राम, कीन्ह पकवान। पूजा हेतु कीन्ह पकवान।
एक बार माता ने स्नान कराए, श्रृंगार कर पलना में श्री रामचंद्र जी को लिटा दिया और फिर अपने कुल के इष्ट देव भगवान की पूजा के हेतु पकवान किया. On a particular day, devotees, this happened on a particular day, this incident, Mata Kaushalya, as was her custom, she bathed Sri Ram, she dressed Sri Ram, she fed Sri Ram, and she put Sri Ram to sleep in the palna, in a cradle. She rocked him to sleep. Sri Ram slept away. The mothers would know that when the baby is asleep, it's only then she would have that time to do whatever she has to do. So Mata Kaushalya wanted to perform puja, Ishtadev puja. By the way, the Ishtadev of Raghukul was Suraj Narayan. So she wanted to perform puja. So with this intention, she went and she prepared prasadam and so on to make offering. Now devotees, she wanted to do puja, but I want you to bear in mind what was happening here. Mata Kaushalya was a devotee. Sri Ram was the Lord, isn't that so? So bearing that child, feeding that child, dressing that child, that amounts to puja. She did puja in a physical sense. Most of us, what we do, we put a murti, we offer water, whatever else, in a physical sense. Right? Mata Kaushalya, she had the opportunity to worship the Lord in a physical form in her own house. They call this type of devotion or this relationship Vatsal Bhav. There are different types of relationships we can have with the Lord. Devotees, the Lord can be master, mother, father, friend, beloved, the child. The devotee becomes the parent, and God becomes the child. So different relationships we can have. I'm not going to elaborate upon this for too long. But this relationship between Mata Kaushalya and Sri Ram is referred to as Vatsal Bhav. Now I want you to pay attention to this because it has an effect that will come later on. So she is using her hands, this relationship, bearing the child, feeding the child, dressing the child, etc. And as I said, that amounts to puja. So she performed that puja for Sri Ram, but she didn't think it was puja in her mind. For her, it was taking care of her child. So devotees, she went and she performed, she prepared herself for all the prasadam and so on. And Yagivalak Mushad Bharadwaj, listen to what she did.
करी पूजा नैवेद्य चढ़ावा, नैवेद्य चढ़ावा, आप गई जह पाक बनावा. बहुरी मातु तह वाचली आई, बहुरी मातु तह वाचली आई, भोजन करत दीख सुत जाई. जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम.
पूजा करके नैवेद्य चढ़ाया और जहाँ पाक बनाया था वह आप गई। फिर जब माता वहाँ गई तो अपने पुत्र श्री रामचंद्र जी को भोजन करते देखा। So Mata Kaushalya performed the puja and so on in the puja place. And of course you will recognize that the puja place is not the kitchen. So she performed her puja, made her offerings and so on. And afterwards she returned to the kitchen for whatever reason. But very strange. When Mata Yashoda returned to the kitchen, what she saw? अपने पुत्र श्री रामचंद्र जी को भोजन करते देखा. She saw that child Sri Ram who was in the palna, who was supposed to be asleep, who could not get out of the palna. He was in the kitchen, eating from the pot, eating food. Now imagine in this situation. It's enough to get you mad, right? Mata Kaushalya was shocked. That's very, a very soft word to use. To see Sri Ram eating. She couldn't believe what she saw. She had to verify what she did.
गई जननी शिशुपः भयभीता देखा बालक शयन पुनीता बहुरी आयन देखा सुत सोई हृदय कंप मन धीर न हुई बहुरी आयन देखा सुत सोई हृदय कंप मन धीर न हुई जय सिया राम 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 जय रघुराम जय परमधाम जय सुखधाम जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय सिया राम जय सिया राम.
माता डरती हुई. She was overpowered by fear. पालने में देखने गई. She returned to the palna to see. I can't tell you what she expected to see. That's it of confusion. She returned to the palna maybe to see if Sri Ram was out of the palna. But when she went to that palna, to वहाँ Sri Ramchandra जी को सोते देखा. She saw Sri Ram sleeping. फिर पाकशाला में आकर भी अपने पुत्र को देखा. She came back to the kitchen to verify what she saw was right. When she came back to the kitchen, she saw Sri Ram eating. तब हृदय कांप गया. मन भी धीर नहीं होता है. The body quivered. Sri Ram, he didn't have an identical twin. But here he was doing two different functions at the same time, sleeping and eating. At the same time, but this blew the mind of Kaushalya. Overpowered by fear. What is this? What is this? Sri Ram can't get out of the palna. He's sleeping. I saw him sleeping. I'm seeing him eating here. How he reached here? Mata Kaushalya devotees in deep distress, confusion. This happens. Confusion takes place. The mind loses all sense of balance. But there's a reason for all this.
इहा उहा दोई बालक देखा मति भ्रम मूरी की आन विशेखा
देखी राम रामा देखी राम जननी तू रहनी प्रभु हसी दीन मधुर मुस्कानी जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। यहाँ भी राम वहाँ भी राम। ऐसे दो बालकों को देख कौशल्या जी कहने लगी कि मेरी मति में भ्रम या यह कोई और है। जब श्री रामचंद्र जी ने देखा कि माता व्याकुल हो तो प्रभु मधुर मुस्कान से हंस दिए। माता Kaushalya came back to the Palna and there she stood looking at the child sleeping, because that was where she started, putting Sri Ram to sleep. She didn't put him in the kitchen. Concerned about that, she came back to where she put him. I'm sure I put him here, and he's still here. So what is this? Here is Ram, there is Sri Ram. How many Sri Rams are there? But the vote is, how many Sri Rams are there? Ekatu Rama, Anekatu Rama. But from the perspective of the Bhakti devotee, there's Ek Ram, her son. Now she began to think, Sri Ram is here, Sri Ram is here. Two different Sri Rams doing different functions. She began to question, am I getting mentally deranged? Am I tripping? Am I going off? Am I seeing things? Hallucinating? Now notice, it's important to note that she first questioned herself. Is it that something is wrong with me? But then she said, oh, it is something otherwise. Otherwise. Well, of course, for most of us, see something like that. Spirit, bhoot, obya. Most thing otherwise. Many people think like that, right? But devotees, yes, is a possibility, could be otherwise. But what caused this? What is this? I can't understand it. It defies explanation. Mata Kaushalya in a puzzle, totally befuddled as we see, standing there, looking at Sri Ram. And then to add to further confusion, that baby sleeping there, he smiled, a beautiful, you know, when children smile, toothless grin, no? No teeth. When big people smile with no teeth, it doesn't look so good. Children smiling devotee, that baby smile, beautiful smile. Many people say when the child is smiling, he's smiling with God. Yeah? But Sri Ram is God, so who is smiling with? Yes, sir? Digression. Devotees, Mata Kaushalya is now looking on. Sri Ram sleeping, eating, now Sri Ram sleeping and smiling. And Mata Kaushalya saw that, devotees. That wasn't all. It was just the beginning of the shock that Sri Ram put to her. But Sri Ram smiled because he recognized his mother was distressed. He recognized his mother was distressed. But he wanted to show her something. Something of a very, very rare nitya, rare occurrence. Yagvalak Muni said, Bharadwaj, when that child smiled, Mata Yashoda Kaushalya looked at that child. What she saw. रहा मत ही निज अद्भुत रूप यखन दिख रहा मत ही निज अद्भुत रूप यखन हे राम अद्भुत रूप यखन रोम रोम प्रति लागे, कोटि कोटि ब्रह्मांड सिया, पति रामचंद्र की जय शरण। माता को अपना आश्चर्यपूर्वक अखंड रूप दिखाया, जिसके रोम रोम में करोड़ करोड़ ब्रह्मांड लगे, ब्रह्मांड जगत। Devotees, when Mata Kaushalya looked at that child Sri Ram, there appeared to be a sudden transformation physically. In that baby wasn't there, but that baby, as she started off by looking at the baby, the child smiling, and as Yashoda Maya also experienced when Krishna Bhagavan was eating dirt, and Yashoda said, Kanhaiya, open your mouth. He said, nope, open your mouth, nope. And when she forced him, open your mouth, and he opened his mouth, Mata Yashoda saw the whole creation inside his mouth. Here, similar. Here, Bhagavan smiled, but immediately there was transformation. Roma Rom, it is said, in every pore in the body of that child Sri Ram. Of course, wouldn't be a child Sri Ram again. The transformation took place. This is difficult to explain. Mata Kaushalya saw karor karor Brahmand, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, universes. Universes. Now, how to understand this, devotees? How to understand this? Sudden transformation. And Mata Kaushalya is seeing countless universes within the body of that Sri Ram. Of course, it wouldn't be the child Sri Ram there again. She couldn't identify that child Sri Ram. But countless universes. And it's important to know the Roma in every pore of the body of the child Sri Ram. She was seeing so many universes, countless, countless. What she saw, devotees, in brief. अगणित रवि शशि शिव चतुरानन, अगणित रवि शशि शिव चतुरानन, बहुगिरि सरित सिंधु महिकानन। कर्म गुण दोष स्वभाव, सो देखा जो सुना न कहूँ, सुना न कहूँ राम सुना न कहूँ, सुना न कहूँ राम सुना न कहूँ, सो देखा जो सुना न अनगिनत सूर्य, चंद्रमा, शिव, ब्रह्मा, पर्वत, नदी, समुद्र, पृथ्वी, वन, काल, कर्म, गुण, दोष, स्वभाव, वह चढ़ देखे जो कभी सुने नहीं थे, और सब प्रकार की माया देखी जो बड़े दर से हाथ जोड़ी खड़ी थी। जीव को और उसको नचाने वाली माया अविद्या को तथा उसको छुड़ाने वाली भक्ति को देखा। Devotees, Mata Kaushalya saw unagint, countless suns, countless moons, countless Shivas, countless Brahmas, earths, mountains, rivers, streams, everything that we see in this world, we see in the universe, in the visible universe, all that we see. Mata Kaushalya saw all that. Countless, not one. Because remember, in every pore of the body, she's seeing countless universes. Where does creation begin? Where does it end, devotees? This is infiniteness of divinity. That is inexpressible. Now, if you can remember, those of you who came to the Devi Yagya, when I did a katha of, Devi taking Brahma and Vishnu and Shiva to different planes. And while they were on the journey, they were seeing Brahma. Brahma was seeing Brahma. Vishnu was seeing Vishnu. Shiva was seeing, how many Shivas do we have? How many Vishnus do we have? You see the question. Devotee, you may think there is one. That's in what we are seeing here. Mata Kaushilya was going much, much beyond that. She saw time force, action force. Whatever faults existed, dosh, swabhav, tendencies, everything she saw personified. Everything that was seen before, ever seen before. And there are two powerful, very powerful forces, devotees. One is called Maya, and one is called, according to Vedanta, one is Bhakti. Maya was seen in a female form, but her hands were clasped, trembling before the Lord. Trembling before the Lord. She is in fear of the Lord. Bhakti was here also seen as a very beautiful female form, but very composed, very relaxed, comfortable. Because Bhakti, Maya is a dancing girl. Bhakti like the queen, as we say. These two forces, devotees. What is Bhakti? Bhakti, according to Ramayana, Bhakti, they said, Bhakti is that force that removes Maya. Yeah. उसको छुड़ाने वाली भक्ति को देखा. Maya contaminates all, makes all dance like monkeys at the end of a rope, of a string. But Bhakti overcomes Maya. Where there is Bhakti, Maya can't come. And of course, where there is Maya, Bhakti wouldn't go. We have been saying this time and again. Mata Kaushilya saw all these devotees within the form of that child, Sri Ram. And remember, I'm saying endless, infinite. Now, I want to just shift the course to the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11. Now, the relationship between Kaushilya Ma and Bhagwan Sri Ram, Vatsal Bhav. So she was worshipping Sri Ram, taking care of Sri Ram. I want to know the difference here. Now, if, say, as a friend, Bhagwan is a friend, would you worship him like that? When there is Sakhya Bhav, what is the relationship with God? How is it defined? I want you to understand the difference I'm trying to draw to your mind here. The Sakhya, the friend, will always, with bond, kind of equal like, but you won't wash foot and put chandan all him kind of thing, na? Isn't that so? The devotee, the Vatsal Bhav, the one who surrenders in this kind of, this is what he or she would do. Now, Arjuna saw on the battlefield of Kurukshetra a form shown to him by Bhagwan Sri Krishna. I hope you all remember that. The Virat Swarup we see here. Right? Now, what Arjuna saw in that form? Arjuna was given special sight because he couldn't visualize that with the naked eyes. So divine sight, Divya Drishti he got, and devotees he saw. But Mata Yash and Kaushilya, Sri Ram was smiling. He didn't say, I'm going to give you this sight. He didn't say, I'm going to show you this. Arjuna asked to see that form. Mata Kaushilya didn't ask to see any form. It was demonstrated to her. Now, I want you to analyze to my mind, the type of devotion, the type of relationship is also important here. Now, the point I want to come to is that when Bhagwan displayed, he said, Arjun, behold this form. Pasyadityan vasudurdran ashwino murtaschatha bahunya drishta purvani pasyastaryani bharataha. Look inside of me, you will see the 12 sons, the Bhara Aditya. You will see the 12 sons, Ekadash Rudra. There's a limit, a number. 12 sons, the 11 Rudras, right? The 49 Marutas. In other words, all that was seen in that body. It struck my mind. Arjuna was not seeing that infinite. He was seeing a limited form of the infinite. Because if you can count the 11 Rudras, 12 sons, 49 maruts, it means that there is a limitation. Isn't that so? Follow what I am saying. This is where satsang comes in now. You have to analyze differently. It's not that Arjuna is seeing any less. But what could be the difference here when Kaushalya Ma was seeing countless sons, countless Shivas? Here, 11 Rudra, but he was seeing Shiva. He was seeing Brahma. He was seeing these forms, these forces in creation. Mata Kaushalya, endless. Anagint, Ravi, Shashi, Shiva, Chaturanand, Anagint, countless. So what was she seeing so much more than Arjuna saw? Yes, crossed my mind. And why? Why? If Bhagavan could have enunciated, as I said, the Ashwini and, the Rudras and so on and so forth, Arjuna was getting a limited view of that infinite, which to my mind was something different from what Mata Kaushalya is seeing. Arjuna saw Dronacharya. He saw Duryodhana, all the others, entering into the mouth of that Lord, stuck up in between the teeth, and so on and so forth. Well, I was specific. To convince Arjuna that they're already dead. You do your duty, you merely instrument. Nothing like this Mata Kaushalya is seeing. Mata Kaushalya is seeing. She's in countless universes. What is a parallel? Remember in Uttarakhand when Kagbhushund was praying in the courtyard with Khu, and Sri Ram was a child praying with him, and one day Sri Ram just opened his mouth and inhaled and pulled Kagbhushund into his body. And suddenly Kagbhushund found himself exposed to countless universes within the body of the same Sri Ram. Countless universes. He saw many Shivas, many Brahmas, one Sri Ram. Went in different worlds and spent 100 years in each world. And after some time, he couldn't spend 100 years in all the worlds, in some of them. When Sri Ram coughed as if he coughed him out into the present, 2 hours had passed by. Where inside the body, in that world, he said 100 years here, 100 years here. He witnessed so many different leelas, but outside when he came to the present, was just 2 hours. Kagbhushun got that darshan. Infiniteness. No beginning, no middle, no end. Arjuna, to my mind, and I put all the because Kagbhushun was what? A devotee. The same kind of way. Same kind of way. That bhav was one of total surrender. Total surrender. Arjuna, when he realized who this was, then he had to apologize, Lord, I didn't recognize you. Because in the form of friendship, I could have, slighted you. I could have disrespected you, whatever. All that. Which is different. So in other words, you know what I'm saying, the devotees? This is why I always prefer, if I have to be a devotee, I want to be like a child in the lap of the mother. Mother won't drop me. Maybe no big man and play, God is my friend, no? And what's that God is my enemy? You can pass me with easy. I look at temperament, nature. Devotees, the attitude has to be right. Other relationships will have its challenges. Here in this case, Kaushalya Ma, she did tapasya many thousands years before to have Sri Rama as a son. She did tapasya, bhakti bhav. So this is different. Yeah? But devotees, some of what they would see would be similar. Some of what they would see, they would be similar. And Arjuna, devotees, was in awe of what he saw. And he prayed. Mata Kaushalya, she couldn't pray. Overpowered by what she saw. And devotees, just for a few moments, I want to, with our limited experience, to praise that form that Arjuna saw. That form that Arjuna saw. Visualize. Chapter 11. Arjuna Vach. Pashyami devang savadeva dehi. Sarvang satha bhuta vishesha sanghan. Brahman misham kamala sanastham. Rishingsha sarvan uragangsha dipyam. Aneka bahu daravakta netram. Pashyami tvang sarvato nanta rupam. Nantam na madhyam na punascha varing. पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूप किरीटिनं गरिनं चक्रिनं च तेजोराशिं सर्वतो दीप्तमन्तं पश्यामि त्वां दुर्निरीक्षं समन्ताद् दीप्तानलार्क अद्युतिमप्रमेयम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। त्वमक्षरं परमं वेदितव्यं त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं त्वमव्ययः शाश्वत धर्मगोप्ता सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतोऽमि। अनादिमध्यान्तम् अनन्तवीरम् अनन्तबाहुं शशिसूर्यनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वां दीप्तहुताशवक्त्रं स्वतेजसा विश्वमिदं तपन्तं ध्यावा पृथिवीभ्योरिदमन्तरं हि व्याप्तं त्वयैकेन दिशश्च सर्वाः दृष्ट्वाद्भुतं रूपमुग्रं तवेदं लोकत्रयं प्रपथितं महात्मन्। अमेहि त्वां सुरसङ्घा विशन्ति केचिद्भीताः प्राञ्जलयो गृह्णन्ति स्वस्तियुक्तमहर्षिसिद्धसङ्घाः स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः पुष्कलाभिः। रुद्र आदित्य वसवो ये च साध्या विश्वेश्विनो मरुतश्चोष्मपाश्च गन्धर्वयक्षासुरशुद्धसिद्धसङ्घा वीक्षन्ते त्वां विस्मिताश्चैव सर्वे। रूपं महत्ते बहुवक्त्रनेतं महाबाहु बहुबाहुरूपादं बहुदरं बहुदंशाकरालं दृष्ट्वा लोकः प्रपतितास्तथाहं। नभस्पृशं दीप्तमनेकवर्णं व्यात्ताननं दीप्तविशालनेत्रं दृष्ट्वा हि त्वां प्रपतितान्तरात्मा धृतिं न विन्दामि शमं च विष्णु। दंशाकरालानि च ते मुखानि दृष्ट्वैव कालानलसन्निभानि दिशो न जानि च लभे च शर्मा प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवासाम्। अमी च त्वां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्राः सर्वे सहैवावनिपालसङ्घै भीष्मो द्रोणः सूतपुत्रस्तथासौ सहास्मदीयैरपि युधमुख्यै वक्तानि ते त्वरमाना विशन्ति दंशाकरालानि भयानकानि केचिद्विलग्नदशनान्तरेषु सन्दृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः यथा नदीनां बहुबुम्बवेगाः समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति तथा च वामी नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्रानभिविज्वलन्ति यथा प्रदीप्तं ज्वलनं पतङ्गा विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगाः तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाश्च वापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः। लीर्हसे ग्रस्यमानः समन्ताल् लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैर्ज्वलद्भिः तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रं भासस्तवोग्रः प्रतपन्त विष्णुः। ओमाख्याहि मेको भवानुग्ररूपो नमोस्तुते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यं नहि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। बोलिए श्री नारायण भगवान की। Devotees, Arjun prayed and he was overpowered by fear, but Bhagwan Sri Krishna told him, again, look and see what, as I said, certain principles were outstanding. And then Arjun, overpowered, he said, Lord, I'm scared of this form. Show me that other more benign form, the four-armed form. Arjun asked to see that form. Here in the Ramayana, Kaushalya Ma was overpowered. She was very overpowered, spellbound by what she saw. Who she considered to be her child. Thoughts in her mind. Yagyavalkya said, Bharadwaj, listen.
तनु पुलकित मुख बचन नयन मूली चरण शील यवंत रामा यवंत देखी महतारी भये बहु ऋषि शूरूप
Shri Rama, Jaya Rama Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama Rama, Jaya Jaya Sita Rama, Jaya Jaya कौशल्या जी का शरीर पुलकायमान हो गया, मुख से वचन नहीं निकला, नेत्र मूंद चरणों में सिर नवाया। माता की बुद्धि आश्चर्य देकर श्री रामचंद्र जी फिर बालक रूप हो गए। So what was Mata Kaushalya's response to this? The body trembled, body quivered, as Arjun did. Yeah. Words failed her. Arjun spoke, he praised. Mata Kaushalya couldn't speak. Words failed her. Mukh bachan nahi nikla. Netra moon, she closed her eyes. Charano mein shir navaya, and she prostrated unconditionally, unconditional surrender. Surrendering totally, lost. I can't make any head or tail out of all this. She was totally lost. As a matter of fact, would there be any thought in her mind? I don't think there'd be any thought at that point, no? Such a state of this devotee, this is chamatkar, this is amazing. You know, what Mata Kaushalya saw. She just, that was her reaction. And this was one of deep love overflowing. Devotees, you can't define it, huh? Can't define this. That Supreme Master Sri Ram in that child form, demonstrating this vastness, this infiniteness to his mother. Recognizing his mother was disturbed, he did what he had to do. Give her this darshan. Is to convince her, mother, you pray to have me as a son, here I am your son. Impact upon her mind. So what he did, devotees, seeing his mother puzzled, confused, fir balak roop ho gayi. He assumed the normal baby form. In the palna, lying as usual, yeah. Mata Kaushalya, bowing. Yagvalak Muni said, Bharadwaj, still. स्तुति करी न जाय भय माना, जगत पिता मैं सुत कह जाना। हरि जननी बहु विधि समुझाई, यह जान कहूँ कर हंसी की नमाई। हरि जननी बहु विधि समुझाई, यह जान कहूँ कर हंसी की नमाई। हंसी की नमाई रात, हंसी की नमाई। कौशल्या से स्तुति नहीं करी जाती. She couldn't pray. She couldn't. At that point in time, devotee, what could you say about that which is beyond words? You know, if something is finite, you could find words to define it, to say something that is infinite. How could you find words to describe that? How could you? Arjun just talked about what he saw. what he saw. He saw all his powers and so on and so forth. And Mata Kaushilya, she couldn't describe what she saw. She was totally overpowered. She saw countless universes. She go back and say, Lord, I see countless universes. She couldn't pray. But what was in the mind at that point in time? Realization. I am thinking that the Father of whole creation is my son. That's the way she went, that direction. How could I think that the Father of all creation, for this is what she saw, this infinite Purush, how could I think that he is my son? Devotees, when Mata Kaushilya began to go in that direction, you see the very Lord, he came, Mata Kaushilya asked for Bardhan way back in the past, I must have your son, meaning as a mother taking care of a child. If this mother would consider the fact all the time that it's not a son, this is infinite, but that would affect the relationship between mother and son. You understand what I'm saying? If I am thinking like Arjuna afterwards, thinking, Lord, I know what, his attitude became different afterwards. But if the mother want to treat the child as a beta, who say, play with him, love him up, whatever, but every time you think you recognize that Virat Swarup, you say, no, he's not my son. He's the father, he's my father also. So Mata Kaushilya would go in that direction, But that wasn't the purpose of the Lord's manifestation. Part of it was to satisfy Kaushilya with the desire to have the Lord as a son. So Bhagavan, the devotees, what he said to her? They said, Ma, so your child talking now. Talking now. Mata, yah baat kahi kahna mat. You see what you have just seen, Mata? Don't tell it to anyone. Don't mention it. Don't mention it. So devotees, that's the first thing Mata Kaushilya, Sri Ram said to her after giving her this experience. Don't mention this to anyone.
Par Kaushilya Dinaya Kari Karju Abajani Kabahu Pyap Prabhu Muhi Maya Turisiya Pati Ramachandra बारंबार कौशल्या माता हाथ जोड़ विनती करने लगी. Now she could pray, now she talking. Again and again she bowing on the feet of that child Sri Ram. Barambar. And what she said, Hey Prabhu, recognize him to be the infinite, the supreme. Hey Prabhu, ab tumhari maya mujhe kabhi na vyapi. I pray that this maya of yours may never, never, never contaminate me, O Lord. Your maya is so powerful. Your delusive potency, so powerful. Lord, let me never ever be overpowered by your Maya. This is what I ask of you. And devotees, when she asked for that, what do you think she asked for? Inadvertently, if you want to call it so. What could overcome Maya? Not bhakti. So she was asking for bhakti. But in the other way, let not your Maya overcome me. If Bhagavan said tathastu, then it would mean that only bhakti, pure bhakti, that is the only force that could overcome Maya. Devotees, and when Bhagavan withdrew that experience from her, he withdrew it, so that when she recognized once more that her son there, she forgot about eating in the kitchen and sleeping, she forgot all that. But devotees, it wouldn't be if you forget, you see, in a conscious sense. But deep down in the deep consciousness, that would be there. Because she identified with that. That is her ultimate nature, divine. But in the worldly sense, you forget it. You forget it. But it doesn't mean to say it is forgotten. You can't recall it. It is forgotten in the sense you can't recall. But it is not lost. That experience is always there. It will always be there. And devotees, this is the experience of every one of us. But you know what? Maya. Maya. Who is Sri Ram? Ram Brahm Paramarthi Rupa. Avigat alak anadi anupa. Sri Ram is Brahm. That is that which is beyond description. Right? God the known, God the unknown, God that is beyond the unknown, the substratum of all substrata. That is Sri Ram. He is Brahm. But Paramarthi Rupa, because of our sake, he assumed the form. So we can understand this is Paramarthi. This is the supreme objective to be achieved. Paramarthi Rupa. He is a form of the supreme objective. Avigat alak anadi anupa. He is unknown, imperceptible, incomparable. Without beginning, without middle, without end. He is that infinite devotees. That is Sri Ram. So in other words, that Sri Rama we speak about is not just a child. Ram Lala, they contributing that murti. The child Sri Ram is what it represents, what it symbolizes to this Ayodhya and to the entire creation. So devotees, this is important, to focus upon. The closer we get to that Lord, bhakti, less distraction. Most of us, we behave very erratically, egoistically, because of Maya. Maya contaminates us devotees. We may say there is bhakti. No, there is no bhakti yet. Bhakti is the culmination. You have to keep on making the effort. When you're caught up with all the trivial things of this world, you're still in Maya. When you transcend all that, bhakti is here. They can say you overcome Maya. Not you overcome Maya. Which one of us could overcome Maya? That's through the Lord's grace. Through the Lord's grace. But devotees, remember what they said? People don't realize it. As I said earlier on, bhakti was here. Maya was seen. Maya, which contaminates the whole. Jeev ko aur uske nachane wali Maya. He saw the Jeev, the individual soul, personified there in the body, but also uske nachane wali Maya. And that force that makes the soul dance to its tune, Maya. Maya. You have to understand there's a compelling reason for devotion, devotees. Not to eat, drink, make merry when you're dead, bury. We keep saying that. Over and over we keep saying, whatever you have, you leave it and you go. That can be the reality. You come back into the world and go through the same processes again. Right? When are we going to get out of it? Gradually, simiti. But bhakti is the way. Sincere devotion. And as I explained, I mentioned in my own thinking, and I'm putting this to you, it's my own thinking. That, even in the relationships, I believe also as there is a ranking in devotions, Arth, Arthati, Jigjasu, Gyani, I feel also in devotion. Right? The love is there, yes, but the person who in mind, word and deed has surrendered, like in the case of Kaushiliyama, Surdas, the Bhaktas, how can we compare that with like a Sakya Bhav or Madhurya Bhav? To me, the Sakya Bhav, the Madhurya Bhav, all these will have a certain degree of selfishness in it. But if you look at this, where the devotee unconditionally surrenders, like the mother does anything with a selfish attitude, that devotion, think about it. So even therein lies little differences, the type of relationship we have with God. So I have to understand this. So this is why, and this, even though you surrender, you say, I don't know anything like Shivari Ma, that is Gyaan Bhakti. Gyaan Bhakti is not Chatin Gyaan, Gyaan Bhakti is living the life with the right attitude, right understanding, the deeper understanding of what scriptures tell us. Okay? So devotees, this we must understand, and as we continue the journey, I'm not denying this is a great happening, wonderful. But I look at all these things, I look at all other celebrations. What does it mean to me as a person? And if I can't apply that to me, what is the purpose of that? Just a celebration. Just a celebration. Okay? So devotees, bring back Sri Ram into this Ayodhya. If he is there, if he is covered with dust and thing, dust out. All the negativities. Re-energize yourselves. And devotees, plenty more to come. But this is the journey. First, understand what you want to the intent, and we'll take it from here. Okay? May the blessing of Bhagavan Sri Ram be showered upon all.
devotee will make preparation for the final Havan, where we glorify Sri Ram. And again I'm saying, when we glorify Sri Ram, it's not a singing a tune, devotees. Not lazily going through the motion. You know, once there was a zamindar, a wealthy fella. And he was, you know, very well, when he part of devotion, he would say. And so he would go to the Ganga and he would take his bath and so on there. And there he would have to sit down in Padma Asana and pray. People watching him now. You know, when people watching you can pray plenty. They make all kind of bhav and thing. So he in that water, taking his bath and so then he sat on a rock and he began to pray. There was a sadhu, a holy man nearby bathing. And the sadhu saw him. But sadhu began to throw water on top of him like a madman. For I get vexed. But initially when in meditation you can't feel anything, no? You don't hear anything. You have to pretend you're hearing anything. Pretense, dikhavat, plenty in today's world, even in devotions. Devotees, he pretending. How long you can pretend? Swami throwing more water on top of him again. Getting vexed. When he couldn't take it, he said, "Oh, stupid man, you see I'm praying? Why are you doing this?" Then Swami laughing. He's a rich fella, zamindar. He said, "Tell me something. Are you praying? Or are you," and he quoted a certain city, "are you going there buying shoes?" He didn't give me a little idea for me, no. Young peddlers buying shoes? Shiva, are buying shoes. This fellow was sitting there, zamindar, showing the world he praying, but in his mind he was really parading, buying a pair of shoes. The Swami knew his mind. Then the fellow realized, oh my God, I'm really fooling myself. It takes somebody to shock us to help us realize, no? Don't pretend. God is not about pretense. Never ever. So devotees, when you do it right. And I can't do it right for you, do it right for yourself. So also don't let anybody next to you distract you either. No, you go on your own journey. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Dina Bandhu Kripa Sindhu Antarayami Tribhuna Swami Antarayami Tribhuna Swami Ram Ram Bhaju Hare Hare. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Purana Kama Jai Shri Rama. He Param Dhama, he Sukh Dhama. He Raghurama, he Sukh Dhama. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. He Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. दशरथ नंदन भव भय भंजन कहतो महापति सुनु जग प्राणी कहतो महापति सुनु जग प्राणी राम राम भजु मन हरे हरे रघुकुल भूषण जानकी जीवन तेरे रघुनाथ हे परमनाथ, हे परमनाथ हे मम नाथ, राम राम भजु हरे हरे, हे राम राम भजु मन हरे हरे, राम राम भजु मन हरे हरे, राम राम भजु मन हरे हरे, हे राम राम भजु मन हरे हरे। बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की। ओम गंगनपतये नमः स्वाहा, श्री गौरी माता स्वाहा, पृथ्वी माता स्वाहा, पंचलोकपाल देवाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा, नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, सूर्यारि नवग्रह देवाय स्वाहा, ब्रह्मग्नये नमः स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चंडिकायै नमः स्वाहा, ओम क्रीं कालियै नमः स्वाहा, महालक्ष्मी माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वत्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री ईश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री परमेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री शीतला देवी स्वाहा, श्री महाअन्नपूर्णा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मंगला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री चंदी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मनसा देवी स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं षष्ठी देव्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री तारा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री षोडशी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भुवनेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, श्री छिन्नमस्ता देव्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री बगलामुखी देव्यै स्वाहा, श्री धूमावती देव्यै स्वाहा, मातंगी देव्यै स्वाहा, श्री कमला देव्यै स्वाहा, सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री हनुमते नमः स्वाहा, सीतारामचंद्रायभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, राधा कृष्णाय नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री इष्टदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री कुलदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री अष्टान देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री ग्राम देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री इतर कर्म प्रधान देवाय स्वाहा, 5 times again, श्री वास्तुदेवाय स्वाहा, 33 करोड़ देवताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, अनंत स्वरूपाय ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री गुरुवे नमः स्वाहा। We perform Purnahuti. Let's concentrate on Bhagavan Shankar, repeating in mind Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shambhavaya cha Mayubhavaya cha, Namah Sankaraya cha Mayaskaraya cha, Shivaya cha Shivtaraya cha, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Achman. Om Sarva Papaharan Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamayadatam Grahitam Purushotamaha Brahmagnaye Namaha. Boli Sri Raja Ramachandra ki Jai. We'll join together devotees and Arati. Jai Jagadish Hari Prarthana. Come forward for your vibhuti.
Janu
हरे शिव राम सखी प्रभु त्रिविध तप निवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम् मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनोहरि ओम आवाहनम न जानामि विसर्जनम पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर ओम गच्छ गसुरश्रेष्ठ स्वस्थाने परमेश्वर यत ब्रह्मादयो देवास्तत्र गच्छुतासन ओम लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजया येषां इन्दिवर्षामो हृदयस्थो जनार्दन ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय गच्छ त्वं भगवन् अग्निस्वस्थाने कुण्डं मध्यतः हुतं मादाय देवेभ्यः शीघ्र देहि प्रसीद मे ब्रह्मज्ञये नमः ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम गर्व से कहो गर्व से कहो गर्व से कहो बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की जाय उमापति महादेव की जाय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जाय उदय शाह जगन्नाथ की जाय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जाय बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की
ओम जय स्वाहा माता मैया जय स्वाहा माता तुम अग्नि की शक्ति तुम अग्नि की शक्ति तुम सच्ची माता ओम जय स्वाहा माता।